What is up, and let's kick straight off. How can you go ahead and get customers for your SaaS business without the paid route? That is no PPC, no Facebook ads, no Instagram ads, no influencers. So let's talk about how we can actually go ahead and do that. We're going to break down 5 to 6 strategies in the ways you can actually go ahead and acquire customers. And the first strategy that we're going to be speaking at specifically so is cold email. No, as much as you want to believe it and other people want to believe it, cold email is not dead. It in fact is one of the most profitable revenue streams you can generate and gain capital from if you know how to get it right. It is similar to performance sports. Only the top 5% get the big bucks, but if you get it, you will win big. And some of the biggest players in the game will tell you that as well, in that if you can actually go ahead and nail cold emailing, you will win. So let's jump straight into how you can do that. Now, there is a method of the madness, so pay attention, get your notebook out, and let's write this down. The first thing you're meant to do is, let's say you have a domain called abc.com. You're not going to go ahead and send cold emails from abc.com. It is not worth your time, because most of the time, cold emails will have some element that gets spammed. So what you are going to do is buy subsidiary domains. That means, let's say you have abc.com, you're going to go get something like tryabc.com, beabc.com, getabc.com, useabc.com. Some subtle changes in your actual primary domain, because in case this particular cold campaign that you reach out to customers on has a bunch of spam outreaches or people are just not happy, then your primary domain's deliverability is not going to be affected. And that is important because you want to protect your primary domain's deliverability. Now, if someone wants to go ahead and visit that website, simple, just go to your GoDaddy, Namecheap, or whatever hosting service you're using, and just 301 redirect them straight to your website. Now, as soon as you get the domain, what I want you to do is go ahead and connect it to a tool like Lemlist. Lemlist has a feature called Lemwarm, or you can use a tool like Mail Warmer. So what they do is they let you go ahead and send emails, fake emails, across a network of different emails that makes it look like you're actually sending natural emails to people. Now, what you want to do is go ahead and send warm emails or start up that process about a week before you actually want to send emails from that domain. About 30 to 40 emails a day, ramping it up about 4 or 5 emails each day is good. Lemon will handle that for you. It's a paid service, so you know that there's a bit of paid involved over here. So that's something you should do and get that domain warmed up, so the deliverability of emails from that service are going to be better for you. Now, the other thing you need to be focused on is actually creating customized emails. This is the most important part of this entire process. Now, the rule that I generally tend to follow is, if it's custom, it makes sure that it can't go to anyone else. So if you're writing a cold email, look at that cold email and see, hey, can I actually send this to anyone else except this prospect I want to send it to? If you say yes, then it's probably not custom enough. Use that as a litmus test. So what I tend to do is use 1 or 2 processes. One is a tool called SmartMail. Actually, it's called SmartWriter. What you can do is use SmartWriter to go ahead and create customized messages based upon your prospects just in like a second, right? But the other thing you can do is go ahead and hire a virtual assistant. Go ahead and get them to write one-liners after they do some research about your prospect, maybe their LinkedIn, the last post they liked, or their website and what their company does. Now, that first line is going to be everything custom. You want to be as custom as possible, because they will get led into the message through that message, right? So your first line is going to be very personalized, most likely a complimentary message, and something that can be on the quirky funny side. You're going to go ahead and hire a virtual assistant after testing, 5, 10, 20 virtual assistants, sending them a list of people that you want to get one-liners from, compare who's done it the best, and pretty much go ahead and hire that person to go ahead and write one-liners for you. Now, once those one-liners are written, you're going to add them onto a CSV of emails that you'll capture, which we'll speak about very quickly. Once you go ahead and actually get those one-liners added into CSV, pretty much just drag and drop, upload that to Lemlist, and then go ahead and bonkers and sending out your emails. Test your subject lines on an A/B campaign, see which one works better, and work towards that. Now, the other thing, where are you actually going to get leads from? Now, look, it's 2021. There's multiple places you can actually get leads. Be careful, of course, with GDPR and scraping complaints that people have to go with. But I generally would go with something like Clean Leads. Simply go ahead and find people in your niche, or find people in your particular customer base that you want to actually target, people you want to target. Use Clean to go ahead and get emails, or you can use any email finder that can go ahead and get emails for you from listicle sites like Shopify or Clutch, or so on and so forth. Once you get those, make sure your emails are actually clean. That means you're not doing just a direct check, you're actually doing like an SMTP and DNS check that these emails are actually deliverable to, using something called Voila Norbert, or there's other tools that are actually going to do this. By the way, no affiliates with these tools, they're just great tools that I've come across that I tentatively like as well. And once that's done, That's it. Kick off your campaign. If you want to be a little sneaky about it, you can go ahead and set up multiple lemlist accounts and send up emails from multiple domains, so you're hitting a wider target base and you're hitting more and more emails. Because lemlist, when you start off, they usually end up recommending 100 200 mails a day at maximum. After all, we're trying to be a human being. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is LinkedIn prospecting, but not just any other standard way. I'm sure you've gotten hit with those random messages saying, hey, let's be part of my connection network, or let's connect. I think they'll find the bleakest response rate possible with something that has a relevance with you, and then say we should connect because we're in a similar industry. No, I don't want to connect with you because of that. So how do you actually go ahead and set up a connection? One, you can again go ahead and hire virtual assistants that can go ahead and make a personalized message. You can use SmartWriter to go ahead and do that for you if you'd like. And then second thing is you can just send up a basic connection request, and you'll see that you'll have a lower hit rate, but you'll definitely have a hit rate. The second you do that, you don't go ahead and get them to just buy a product or get them to jump on a call. That's not how it's going to happen. Imagine going ahead and saying hi to someone, and then right after that on the street, ask them to go ahead and buy a product from you. Online and offline are very similar. So how do you handle that? The way you handle it is straightforward. As soon as you go ahead and add them, the second thing I want you to do is go ahead and either get them to join a Facebook group of yours that is very value driven, or get them to join a community on LinkedIn. Now, the community needs to be very literal to what your product is about. So if you are selling doormats, make sure you go ahead and have a community all around doormats, secure doormats, safety around doormats, workers' compensation, safety concerns around doormats. So make sure that's taken care of in the doormat space. So when they click on that link, they know what they're exactly joining. Make a value-based environment. The third thing you're going to do is again pump them with more value. Send them an ebook, a blog post, a link, something in your niche that is specific to why they even accept your connection. Now, once they do that, that value add is there. Then on position number 4, what you're going to do is go ahead and reach out to them, say, hey, you saw all these things. Can I help you in this particular space? Do you want to jump on a call? It seems tedious. It's not, because trust me, it's going to fill up your entire funnel with customers, prospective SaaS users, and whoever else wants to use your particular product. And the third thing is something I don't see a lot of people do, but they should really capitalize on, is basically optimizing their app to be strategic towards marketplaces. And what I mean by that is, don't force yourself to be integrated into third-party engines like Slack or Atlassian or whatever is popular out there, like even the Chrome extension. But if you can and it's tasteful towards your product, definitely go and do that. There's two things that are going to happen when you launch yourself on existing marketplaces that have a lot of traffic, because A, that company is working very hard towards bringing traffic to that engine of theirs, and B, it also gets you nice little happy backlink that you would not normally get from a high ranking website. So Slack is a great place. You can go with the Google Chrome extension, you can go with Zapier, and there's heaps of other areas and niches based upon what you're trying to target to go ahead and get people to find another avenue and acquiring customers that A, are A, cheap because you're paying nothing for it other than the integration, and B, might fit into your audience. So give that a go. The other thing I want to mention that is easy way for you to acquire customers, and this is obviously very specific to your product, is making sure your coefficient of growth is greater than 1. So what does a viral coefficient greater than 1 mean? That means every single time you hire a customer, their utility of your product leads to you acquiring more customers. An easy example is something like Drift or Intercom, so the chatbot that you see in the bottom right corner, or you have products that are network effect products like Slack. That means you can't just use Slack all by yourself. You probably want to have other people there. So when you have a distribution effect put into your product, or you have a viral coefficient, i.e. they're not an invisible product, there's a chance that it's going to grow naturally all by itself. Now, the second last strategy which I want to speak about is actually really good, and you don't see a lot of people do it yet again. Golden nugget for you is ego baiting. Right? So it's all about how you can go ahead and get people to come onto a niche show on podcast or YouTube channel, or even blog that you host, or even a newsletter for that example, and get them to speak about your particular niche and topic. Now, imagine you're in a particular niche such as selling car insurance. A lot of people who are also selling car insurance will be very interested about what your product does, as well as what you're interested in selling. So what you can do is get experts in that space to go ahead and come onto your podcast, interview them, get them to share their thoughts, and eventually go ahead and launch that. You're leveraging their audience to acquire new customers. B, you're also building like a network effect of specialization. Now you become the central body of authority because all these people start associating multiple popular names along with what your product actually does and who you actually are. And more importantly, this is not about getting their customers and their audience to go ahead and become your customers. It's about getting them to be your customers. So it's basically ego baiting your own customers to come in and be on your show, and eventually they'll ask you, hey, so what does your product actually do? And boom, that's your actual go away. So you get 2 wins with this. One, you get your customers, right? And then 2, you most likely also get your customers to become potential users of your product. And the last one I wanted to say, but it's definitely not the least, is Quora marketing. It's free, it's great traffic, and it's a fantastic place for you to go ahead and acquire some nice, good juice and energy into your particular product, especially in the early days. The reason why I recommend this is because your website is not going to rank in the first page of Google for what you're doing for a little while. However, Quora is ranking for it already. And on top of that, people are already searching for answers on Quora. So what you can do is 2 or 3 strategies. One, you can use a combination of SEMrush or Ahrefs and go ahead and find the top ranking particular pages for your niche. What this means is this answer in Quora is also ranking on Google or Yahoo's first page of results when someone's searching for it. So when someone clicks on that answer in Quora, you're going to be the first answer that's going to show up, and then naturally they will click into any link that you put on that answer that might lead to your site. The other thing you can do is use a product, something called QA Pop. Now QA Pop is also a fantastic product because what QA Pop does is it aggregates all this information around Ahrefs and SEMrush as well as Google to go ahead and tell you how many impressions a particular question has every week. This is great. So you're not just answering any random question, you're answering questions that have high value of return for what you're trying to solve for. And second, it tells you how many organic Google searches that are coming from Quora on this particular question. Now the last thing I want to mention is the ability in Quora is to go ahead and use Quora's own advertising engine. Not many people speak about this, but essentially you can go to Quora, set up an ads campaign, it's for free, go to the second page of the campaign, no one's going to charge you anything, and then at the bottom corner you're going to have an option to go ahead and select questions in terms of who you want to target or what you want to target. Once you select questions, go ahead and click on the little search bar and add in the categories of what you actually want to write answers for. The second you do that, what Quora is going to give you is actually questions you can answer, but also the impressions each question has in a daily or weekly basis. This is fantastic, direct from Quora's own database in terms of what's the most popular questions people are answering or looking at, as well as where your prospective customers can be. There you go. Hopefully that helped. Key strategies that you can use to go ahead and acquire customers without paying a single dollar for paid advertising. If you like this video, I'd love if you could like or subscribe because it helps share with the rest of the world and spread the message. And also, I'm going to launch more videos of these soon, so both videos. So if you're interested, stay in touch, subscribe again like I just mentioned, and I look forward to seeing you. Take care.